Hello everyone, thank you for coming to my video. My name is Daniela, and if you watch my last two videos, apparently my channel is just about nursing school for now. So I just wanted to make some videos that talked about things that I wish I would have known before I started nursing school, just to make things a lot easier. But this video is about accelerated nursing programs. So an accelerated program is roughly 16, sometimes like 24 months long. Mine was only 16 months, so it was really jam-packed. And to get into an accelerated program, usually you need to have had a bachelor's degree in something else before you started, or at least the prerequisites to start the program, which a lot of the time there's so many prereqs, you might as well have the whole degree. So I was actually a biology major, and I graduated in like 3.5 years or something from my previous college. So I decided to go to nursing school, and so that's why I wanted to pick an accelerated program, because I'd already spent that 3.5 years in a regular 4-year program, and I didn't want to have to completely start over. If I was already a biology major, then I had a ton of the prereqs, so I just wanted to get the nursing stuff done quickly. So I started my accelerated program in August of 2017, and I just finished now December 2018. So I made it all the way through without going part-time and all that stuff, which, one semester they did tell us all, like, you guys should really go part-time. It'd make your life a lot easier, blah, blah. But I wanted to graduate with my friends, and, we made it, and I'm glad I did it all at once, but it was really hard. So I just want to touch on a few points about an accelerated program that I wish I would have known before I started. So my first point about an accelerated nursing school program is to expect to teach yourself a lot. So a lot of the time for accelerated programs, they're online, which mine was. So I had all of my assignments online. My lectures were online, even though we really didn't get any. We had PowerPoints like off and on in some classes, but most of it was teaching yourself. And if you don't have a medical background, which I really don't, then it is going to be hard, which it was, but I made it through it and everything turned out okay. So in our program, you had everything online, then you would go to school 1 to 2 times per week on top of having clinical. So you traditional programs, you go to school every day, every other day, whatever it is, but these ones, you really spend a lot of time at home on your computer or in the books just trying to learn. So expect to teach yourself a lot of things. Use your friends as resources. They might have read something in the book that you accidentally skimmed over, and you can help each other learn, and it works so much easier that way. And I know that from experience. So use your resources, but expect to do a lot of stuff on your own. So my second point is to expect to build on a lot of your past knowledge. For nurses, that's going to be your pathophys and anatomy, microbiome, which was my favorite class in my undergrad. I did use that a lot in nursing school. So expect to build on that stuff a lot, and expect to really know it when you come in, because a lot of things that I just blew off in college, I really needed to know in nursing school, like acid-base imbalances, or like osmosis type things, or obviously anatomy, anything with like the infection disease process. That's huge. So really know your pathophys and those other classes, because they are going to pretty much be in every part of your nursing school. My next point is to expect to feel really stupid. So in an accelerated program, things have to go so fast. So a regular nursing program to get your BSN would be 4 years long. But since you already have all your prereqs from your past bachelor's to get your BSN in an accelerated program, you're only doing like the specific nursing things, and you would think that it was like your pathophys and like your algebra, your calc, all that stuff. That would have been your hardest classes, but really nursing is so much harder in my opinion. But expect to feel stupid sometimes because since these programs are so fast, you don't get to stay on subjects very long, so you again have to teach yourself and you might miss out on a lot of it. Or, you might just never learn a certain subject that you're gonna learn at clinical or probably at your first job. I know I have friends that are in traditional programs and they would bring things up that they've been learning, or they would put stuff on Snapchat that they're learning, and I don't remember learning that in nursing school. I still feel confident in what I learned, but to get that program done in that specific amount of time, they can't teach you everything there is to know. So when you're at clinical, sometimes you might feel like the dumbest person there because you don't have past medical knowledge. A lot of people didn't. When I started, I didn't. And simple things that nurses find simple, we didn't find simple because we had like our CNA type training really only lasted a few weeks. I mean, our first clinical, we were in a nursing home type setting, somewhere in a hospital. I was in a nursing home, and even then you don't get to use all those skills. I didn't because I was on a dementia unit and they were still pretty high functioning. So a lot of stuff goes so quickly and you don't really get to hone in on a lot of things. So expect to feel dumb. That kind of leads me into my next point. Expect to feel like you're always playing catch up. So since the program is so fast, you're always going to feel like you're one step behind. You need to really be organized with your schooling in order to not really feel this way, and just to get things done on time. The playing catch up and the expect to feel stupid is kind of all linked together, but basically you're gonna feel like you're behind a lot of the time, and you're probably not, but you might be, as long as you're getting the right scores and as long as you're safe at clinical. That's really all that matters. You're gonna learn a lot at clinical and at your first job, so don't sweat it. A lot of these things I feel like were specific to me, so maybe I shouldn't say like every accelerated program is going to be like this, but whatever. This was my experience. So my next point is to expect to have zero free time. And I would say confidently that you have less free time in an accelerated program than you do a traditional program. We didn't have summers off. Some people had clinical on the weekend. Thank God I never had to. I got lucky with like all of my clinicals. I had really good clinicals, but expect to be busy all the time. Your family's gonna have to accept that you're probably not gonna come to a lot of family birthday parties, a lot of dinners. You're gonna miss a lot of things. You're gonna feel like you don't have a life for that amount of time. For me, that was worth it because I had just gotten married and it was kind of nice being just my husband and I for a while. I didn't get to travel home all the time, but I was studying, I was getting things done, and it made it worth it. If you're somebody that you think that you can't be so out of touch with life and like all your family and friends, I totally get it, and that's okay. But an accelerated program probably wouldn't be for you because you have to devote so much time. So most of my time studying, I was at home and I would seriously sit in my chair, on my couch for like 12 hours a day. And then I would have school the next day or I would have clinical. So you just have to manage your time so well, and a lot of the time that leaves out a lot of time for fun. This again leads me into my next point about always expect to be at clinical or at school. Since these programs are so short, you have to get everything done in such a condensed amount of time that you're always going to stay busy. You're either going to be studying or you're going to be at clinical or you're going to be at school. So I would never say I had one full day that I could just do whatever I wanted. I would say that I found a few hours within a day to do things that I wanted. So it's a lot of sacrifice, a lot of time being spent only focusing on nursing. Again, I think it was worth it, but it's just something that I wish I would have known before I started an accelerated program. This one people might not really agree with me on, but I don't try to work while you're in this program. I felt like our nursing school wasn't very clear with us on a lot of things regarding the program, but that was one thing they were very clear with us is do not work during this program because you will not succeed. Now, that's not completely true, but I think there wasn't even a handful of people in my program that passed on time that did work. And if they did work, they had to significantly decrease their amount of hours from what they had started in the beginning of the program. I don't think anyone that passed on time worked full time through the whole program. And most of the people that did try to work, or even that had kids, which sucks. I mean, you can't help if you have kids, and you can't really help if you work either. I know you have to live, but a lot of those people ended up having to go part-time, or they just failed out of the program. So it is hard not to work. It was hard being on one income. It still is, because I haven't even taken my NCLEX, haven't started a job yet. But it's like, do you want to fail your class because you had to work so much and then you end up having to retake it and pay for it again? Or do you want to just save as much as you can before, try to, save during, don't do all the fun things that you're used to doing if that means, being able to be in an accelerated program. So are you willing to do those things in order to be successful in the program? That's something you'd have to decide for yourself, which I just knew I could not work and be successful in this program. I barely passed as it is, and I didn't have to work one day. So just keep that in mind when you're doing these programs. This point was absolutely the hardest one that I had to grasp onto, and it's to expect to graduate with about half of the people that you started with. So our program, I think we started with it was either 48 to 52 people, and I forget exactly how many. But you get used to these people, they become your friends, they become your family, and if one of them fails, it feels like your heart is getting ripped out. Maybe some people don't get as attached to everyone like I do, but having best friends fail out was horrible, especially when we were towards the very end, and the friends who you got even closer to than your family, if they didn't pass a class, that was horrible. And I'm sure it was 10 times more horrible for them, but for me, not having my friends at pinning with us and knowing what they were going through was just so hard. And that doesn't mean that these people aren't smart or something like that. There's different circumstances, but these programs are so hard, and one little slip up or one misunderstanding that didn't get you the right grade on an exam can cost you a few months. For us, it's let's see, 4 months per semester. So that already costs you 4 months and then a bunch of money. So, the people that you meet in nursing school really do become family, and that was really hard. We started, like I said, 48 to 52, something like that, and I think we graduated from our original cohort with 20 people. So imagine you start out with all these people and then you get half of them. It was just horrible to see your friends like that. And for me, I had just moved from my hometown. I moved 4 hours away to live with my husband, and my friends in nursing school were the first friends that I even made when I moved away from home, and to see all of that stuff happen to them was, it was so sad. It was truly so sad. And you have to make an effort to stay connected with those people because it's hard. If you're not with them all the time, if you're not at clinical, if you're not at school, if you're not in the same classes, you just don't talk to them as much. So you have to make the effort. It's totally worth it because most of the people you meet in nursing school are just awesome. And my last point with an accelerated program is to be proud of yourself when you're done. Obviously, you should be proud of yourself when you finish anything, when you finish any nursing program, like a traditional program, whatever it is. but doing an accelerated BSN program is freaking hard. It is hard as hell. And, you know, you should be proud of yourself when you're done because you worked hard. You know, you and your friends that were in the program with you are the only people that know how hard that was for you. And of course, the people you lived with. I said this at pinning. I'm surprised I'm still married because of all the tears and all the stuff that my husband had to listen to and watch while I was in nursing school. I don't know how he's still married to me, but whatever. But be proud of yourself because it is the most rewarding thing when you're done. And I didn't make this video to scare anybody. I just wanted you to be aware of everything and to just be ready for when you start an accelerated program and what to expect. So I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't watched my other ones, go ahead and watch those. So thank you very much.